Everyone, welcome to the channel. This is part 2 of the Beast, my massive 6000 watts DIY BGA Rework station. In part 1, I showed the full build and the first tests, but I was honest about the big problem. The cheap knockoff PC410 controller was holding everything back. Well, the good news is I borrowed that original PC410 from my other station. I swapped it, and the Beast is finally performing how I want it. Today I'm going to show you the station running properly, explain one critical setting that makes a huge difference with these controllers, and then do a real-world desolder of a cell CPU from a PS3 Slim logic board. Let's get into it. Just a quick recap, the station is built from 600 watts fuser lamps on the bottom, preheater, 450 watts ACHI IR head on top. Everything is controlled with PSoft Software, this one, and well, the knockoff controller, I will show you here. This is our knockoff controller. The good thing about it is it's really easy to remove it without even taking out the whole thing. Technically, it slides out. It has like clips here. You have to press it and the whole thing comes out easily. This one is made from 3 boards. This is our power supply with our RS-232 transceiver here. Technically, you can remove this board and connect a USB to TTL converter, and this will also work. This is our main board, and this is our problem. If we would have a proper bin file for this SDC microcontroller, this would solve the problem. And of course, our display board. This one I can use to the other one. So be careful for this company, Shanman. I don't know even how to pronounce it properly, but these are controllers lacking one important function. So this controller is Yarboly. That's I believe that's a better brand to use. As you see, the front panel sticks out because, as you probably remember, I'm gonna put a link to my other station. I don't know where that link gonna be, somewhere on the screen, about my other build from based on 80 preheater. I had to tilt the front panel to be able to squeeze or fit everything inside that housing. That's why I had to extend these wires, and I put this outside, but everything else is the same. So as I said, I was able to swap just internals. All of the wiring shown on the previous video is still valid. Also, you can see I have some like how to name it, some holders for our PCB. So let's try to turn this on and find out what's all about. Of course, we have our temperatures readings. I'm in the basement. It's quite chill here, so I have that 15 degrees. And let me show you that most important setting. So press and hold set button and go over the menu. Alt2 prop. And we have to go to, okay, this is our address so that PC can communicate with that device. Our baud rate, control op, AL01. This is our alarm 1, and we have to have this AL02 set to HiAll. If you're gonna change the setting, PSoft Software won't be able to control the bottom heater. The whole idea of this is our bottom controller REX C100 is connected in series with output 2 on our PC410. And to control it, to be able to control it with PSoft software, we have to have this setting set to HiAll. And this is output used for alarm, technically, but in other stations, it's set to be always on. So whenever we're going to start that PC410 controller, the bottom will also be started. So our relay for bottom will be started. Okay, so let's try our test board. We still have a cell CPU. We're going to try to desolder it. And of course, quick but important reminder, this machine runs on 240 volts with over 6,000 watts of bottom heat. So high voltage, high temperature. This is an advanced project only. Improper use or wiring can cause fire or injury. Always prioritize safety and follow local codes. Oh, one more thing to mention, because last time I wasn't able to go with the profile, so because the PSoft software didn't work on the bottom preheater, and one of the comments was saying that the board I've been baking last time was bent, and it was completely bent. I preheated it one more time, just evenly, and according to the profile, and the board is quite straight now. Well, let me show you this thing. So I am not sure if you're gonna see it. Let me go and zoom out. Zoom. Oh, this is all zoomed out. I don't know if you're gonna see it, but this board is quite straight. Maybe here you're gonna see it. So I'm gonna show you this board after soldering too. So let's go to the station and let's put this on. Of course, okay, good now. Let's put our probe underneath. That's not gonna be good. I need to find other way of attaching this board. Okay, give me a sec. I'll try to make it even. Okay, this way we have our cell CPU underneath the top heater. Let's go to our PSoft software and let's choose the profile I made. I made a little bit tuned profile with 0.5 degrees per second ramp rate, and dwell time is just 10 seconds. So the whole idea of that ramp rate is how many degrees per second we're gonna have that temperature increases. So if we're gonna have half degree per second, we need or let's say for 60 degrees, we need 2 minutes to have this time. So our dwell time, it can be just 10 seconds to make it working properly. So let's find out if our profile will work. Also, I put that bottom power just up to 10%, and we will see how that's gonna work out. So let's start our profile. And you can see that our bottom preheater just started for a second and turned off. So it's on and off now, and everything is controlled with the PSoft software. So let's do the full profile. We're gonna add some flux after. So let's use this cheaper one. Of course, this station won't stay here on the desk. I will have to make a separate desk for it, and make it good ventilation and so on. I didn't figure out yet why our set temperature here isn't rising, but this is our real temperature, and you can see our bottom temperature and the top temperature. They are quite equal. Also here on the graph, you can see our temperature is rising according to the profile. So I'm gonna speed up the process a little bit, so I'm not gonna make you boring for full 10 minutes of the profile, but I'm gonna stop and show you around the time whenever I'm gonna remove the chip. So here you can see this cell CPU desoldered. I know that this profile needs some tweaking, but the thing is, most of the work is done by a bottom. The top just heats that CPU at the very last stage. I know that the profile, like, they didn't match, but I know that this is something which can be tweaked with this PSoft software here. Some settings have to be adjusted, and this station should work properly. So now let the board cool down a little bit. Whenever it's going to be like below 100 degrees Celsius, I'm going to show you that the board is straight and there is no bending. As you see, I am not using any jigs or any supports underneath, because whenever the board is preheated evenly on all of the surface, it doesn't need it. So I believe all of our effort with that jigs for fat motherboards is not needed anymore. Okay, so let's take a look on the board. It's still hot, but I can easily take it out, and I hope you're gonna see it. I don't see any warping, and the board is quite straight. So, as I mentioned, it's not needed anymore to take that jigs. So you can see the difference between. It's not even original, because Yarboly isn't also Altec. Altec is original brand for this PC410 controllers, but you can see the huge difference between that real knockoff, that Shaun and that PC410 with that other option. So the bottom heat now is more stable, controllable, and powerful enough to desolder those big chips like cell CPUs, RSX, without stressing the top heater too much. I'm really happy to how this beast turned out now. It's of course, it's not a commercial machine, but for the DIY build, it's performing at a very high level. Of course, still a few upgrades in my mind. For sure, better insulation, maybe some kind of active cooling. I've seen some like fans on AliExpress. of course, permanent mount for this controller, and better mount for upper heater, because for now I can just move it, like slide it forward and backward. I also need to move it to the sides. So that's part 2 of that beast. It's alive and working quite properly. If you're building your own like high power rework station or struggling with controller settings, drop a comment below. Have you used original PC410 or clones, that knockoffs? What BGA chips do you want to see reworked next? Any tips? I've seen a comment about these controllers, that they are obsolete and not used anymore. There are much better options. I will look into it, but the reason I chose them, I used to have ACHI IR Pro SC rework station, and I was really happy with it, and I knew these controllers. So that was the reason why I used it. So thanks for watching, stay safe, keep soldering, and I'll see you in the next one. Thumbs up, thumbs down, subscribe. Thank you. Bye.